For as long as we've looked up at the stars, we've asked ourselves this one profound and maybe a little unsettling question. It's the kind of question that drives science, inspires art, and really gets to the core of our place in the cosmos.
Right. Are we truly alone out here in all this space? Or is there something else out there? For decades, some of our brightest minds have been trying to figure that out. But what if I told you that for a while, the official search just stopped?
Yeah, let's get into this because it sounds pretty dramatic, but it's totally true. Back in the early 90s, the official government-funded effort to listen for signals from extraterrestrial intelligence just hit a brick wall. What you're looking at here is a page from the final report on NASA's High-Resolution Microwave Survey. This was a huge project to scan the skies for alien signals, and it pinpoints the exact moment the search died, October 1st, 1993. Congress just pulled the plug. The report itself says it put NASA out of the SETI business. Just like that, the official search went silent. But that big question, it didn't go anywhere. So that setback actually forced scientists to get really creative, and it led to this new, super ingenious way of searching, one that doesn't count on a giant government-funded shout from across the galaxy, but on something much, much quieter. Okay, so this new kind of search needed a perfect target, and astronomers found an amazing one in the TRAPPIST-1 system. For starters, it's pretty close, only 41 light-years away. But what's really exciting is that it has 7 rocky Earth-sized planets, and a few of them are right in the habitable zone, that sweet spot where liquid water could actually exist. It's one of the most promising places we know of, period. And here's the crucial shift in strategy. See, the old way of doing SETI was kind of like waiting by the phone, hoping some alien civilization would blast an incredibly powerful signal right at us. The new way, it's more like cosmic eavesdropping. The whole idea is to listen in on the faint signals that a civilization might be sending between its own planets, just like we talk to our rovers on Mars. Now, this isn't just about pointing a telescope at a star and crossing your fingers. This whole eavesdropping technique relies on incredibly precise timing and, honestly, a little bit of cosmic geometry. The secret sauce here is something called a planet-planet occultation, or PPO. Because the planets in the TRAPPIST-1 system are all packed so closely together, they regularly pass in front of each other from where we're watching on Earth. So think about it. If one planet was sending a radio signal to the other right during one of these alignments, that signal's path would point directly toward us. It would give us the perfect chance to overhear their conversation. So here's how it actually breaks down. First, scientists predict the exact moment a PPO is going to happen. Second, during that very brief window, they point a super powerful instrument like the Allen Telescope Array at the system and just listen. And third, they run all that data through advanced software to sift through millions of signals, looking for anything that isn't just space static or, our own radio chatter. And a team from Penn State and the SETI Institute did exactly this pretty recently for 28 straight hours, which is the longest continuous search ever focused on TRAPPIST-1. Now, they didn't find any alien signals this time around, but they proved the method works. They proved they can successfully listen for a conversation. Now, all we need is a conversation to listen to. But while that very targeted search came up empty, sometimes the universe just throws mysteries at us that we weren't even looking for. So let's shift gears from a search that found nothing to a real signal that has astronomers totally stumped. Way back in 2002, astronomers were just monitoring the center of our galaxy when they stumbled on something truly bizarre. A radio source that blinked into existence and then disappeared, one they nicknamed the burper. And its behavior was unlike pretty much anything they'd ever seen before. So what makes the signal so weird is just how specific it was. Get this, they detected 5 bursts. Every single one was identical. Each one lasted for 10 minutes, and they repeated like perfect clockwork every 77 minutes. And then it just stopped. Besides a few much weaker hints later on, it basically just disappeared, leaving behind this huge cosmic question mark. So what in the universe could possibly produce a signal like that? Scientists have come up with a bunch of possible natural explanations, but honestly, none of them really fit perfectly. The top theories include things like a nulling pulsar, which is a kind of dying star that sputters on and off, or maybe a pair of super dense neutron stars orbiting each other. It could even be a rare type of white dwarf pulsar, or a regular one that's just wobbling on its axis. But here's the problem. The super precise timing and repetition of the burper
doesn't quite line up with what we'd expect from any of these things. So for now, the mystery is very much unsolved. And that really brings us right back to today. From the official search being shut down to these clever new eavesdropping techniques, the quest is still on. As Penn State researcher Nick Toussey said about that TRAPPIST-1 search, we are getting closer. Our technology is better, our methods are way more creative, we are getting better at listening. So the search for everything else continues, driven by private funding, by sheer scientific curiosity, and by that one single fundamental question. We've gone from hoping to hear a shout across the cosmos to trying to listen for a whisper. But it really makes you wonder, are we finally tuning our ears to the right cosmic frequency?